Hi, we successfully uploaded the first video after my problems with the internet yesterday, and it went on pretty fast, so we're up and running again. This video is of the VE Day celebrations, which didn't really exist because everything was locked down. It was May the 8th, so I got the flags out, put them up. These are the nations what actually landed on D-Day. So we kind of had a street party. We all sat in our own front gardens and we took our drinks out at 3 o'clock, listened to the Winston Churchill speech on the radio, had a few glasses of bubbly, and it was quite a pleasant afternoon. But this is the video I'd prepared for that particular day to have it uploaded on that day. So thanks for watching. Stay safe. Just finished putting the flags up and we'll have a look at them. It's May the 8th, 2020, the 75th anniversary of VE Day, when hostilities ended in Europe. Unfortunately, with coronavirus, nothing has happened. We're all locked in still. We would have been at East Kirkby today for their show. So I decided to get up and get the flags out. So the flags up are the French, Norwegian and Polish. Then you've got the Australian, Canadian and New Zealand. The Union Jack GB. And on the garage we've got Belgium and Holland. And on another flagpole, the USA. It's the flag for the NHS, which is to support the workers who are fighting on the front line against this coronavirus. Well done, lads and lassies.
Coming in on a wing and a prayer. Though there's one motor gone, we can still carry on. We're coming in on a wing and a prayer. What a show, what a fight. Yes, we really hit our targets for tonight. How we sing as we limp through the air. Look below, there's a field over there, with a full crew on board and a trust in the Lord. We're coming in on a wing and a prayer. What a show, what a fight. Yes, we really hit our targets for tonight. How we sing as we limp through the air. Look below, there's a field over there.
This video was taken just before the repaint in 2017 with Andrew Panton.
We just do winter maintenance on the aircraft, overhaul the engines for the winter maintenance and make it ready for the taxi runs the following year. This winter is the first step towards making the aircraft airworthy. And that first step is to completely paint strip the aircraft, take as many components off it as you can, do a survey of the aircraft and the airframe to then create the work packs moving forwards to restoring the aircraft to an airworthy condition. So as you see NX611 today, she is in a position where she's almost ready for the repaint. Repaint of the aircraft starts next Monday, so we have a couple of days left to get her completely ready for the repaint. So she had all of the paint stripped off. What we found is she had about 4 layers of camouflage and black paint on her, and the roundels, which are the circles on the side of the aircraft, had about 10 layers of paint on. The company that did the paint strip and are doing the repaint for us is a company called Mass Aviation. They're based in Maastricht in Holland, Alabama in America and Dublin in Ireland. So a really huge international company. The reason, or the way they got involved with us here at East Kirkby, is through one of the members of the centre called Armin Lloyd. He saw on eBay there was a batch load of gauges coming up for sale, which would have been correct for the Lancaster. He approached us to see if we wanted to buy them. Of course, we said we'd love for them for the centre, so he bought them for us and shipped them over. The person he bought them from questioned him, why on earth would you want all of these gauges, especially considering that the radioactive paint that's used on them as well, so it's not everyone that can own them. And he explained to the seller as to where they were coming and what they were going to be used for. The seller's name was a gentleman called Tim McDougall. And it turns out that he runs a company called Mass Aviation who paint, strip and repaint aircraft. Tim got very interested in the project. It turns out that his father was a pilot on Lancasters during the Second World War, and he offered his help to see if there's anything he could do for us to further the project. We could of course think of something that he could do for us. About a year prior to that, we had a quote to completely paint, strip and repaint the aircraft, and it came in at £125,000. It looks like the work that Mass Aviation are doing for us is going to come in at about £20,000. So it's a huge saving for the centre, and to which we're of course very grateful to Mass Aviation. So they came in November, did a paint strip on the aircraft. They expected that to take about 7 days, whereas actually it took about 12. It takes about 5 or 6 days to paint strip a big jumbo jet, so you can see what trouble they had with it. The air was a little bit blue when they found how many layers of paint there were. Another problem they faced was the fact that not all the paint that was used was the same. So the paint stripper they got for the top coat didn't necessarily work very well on the coat underneath. So yeah, it's a good reason we closed the hangar for that period of time. It wasn't just a few. So it was a chemical paint strip they used, which basically took it off layer by layer, which was very interesting for us with the history of the aircraft, because we could see the different layers of squadron coats being removed layer upon layer, and also the nose art of the aircraft. We could see how it had changed over the period of time, from the swimsuit that was red to the black and white bikini that she wore later on. So straight back to the bare aluminium, that meant that we could really see the physical condition of the airframe, both the skin and all the rivets on her as well. From doing that, we've done a complete survey of the aircraft, which is all in paper form. That means that we can then give that survey to the CAA and say, this is where we stand at the moment, this is the condition of the aircraft, and this is what we're going to do moving forward towards making her airworthy. We did find quite a lot of surface corrosion on her. So you can see the aircraft is in 2 tones at the minute, in a dull silver and in a shiny silver. In the shiny areas, it's where we've run over the aircraft with these Rolock discs. These are basically polishing discs. They're kind of a plastic material with little teeth on them, which then agitate the surface and remove any surface corrosion. So I'll pass these around. You'll see some of them are particularly worn out. So I spread them around. Who can catch? So if you pass them around, have a look at them, they actually kind of polish the surface rather than actually damaging it. So they take off any bad metal and leave the good metal underneath. You'll see quite a few areas have been done. We found the majority of surface.
The next question Andrew got asked was, where will the Lancaster take off from and land? Andrew came up with the answer.
It would always operate from here. The Lancaster officially needs 5,500 feet to operate from. That is measured by the length of runway it would require to get up to takeoff speed and come to a trundling stop without brakes. For a Lancaster, that's deemed to be 5,500 feet. There's enough length of grass strip that we can lay to do that on. So about 6,000 feet of grass strip that we can lay in a slightly different direction to our current grass strip. Yes, in the back.
What's the order of assembly once you've got it painted?
Sunny day, you need to sing along. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folk that I know, tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again.